Hi there, my name is Miss Maria, and today we're going to read a story together called Silly Sandwiches. I don't know what's in these sandwiches that makes them silly, but it looks like they're very big sandwiches that these two kids are eating, so let's find out what makes them silly. Mom was playing the piano. She played the piano a lot. Dylan opened a kitchen cupboard. His friend Jake opened another one. "What's for lunch, Mom?" Dylan called. The piano music stopped. "Make yourself some sandwiches," Mom called. The music started again. "What kind of sandwiches?" Dylan asked. The music stopped. "Any kind. Use your imagination." The music started again. Seems like the mom really likes to play the piano and she just does not want to be bothered to make lunch right now, right? So she says, "You do it yourself. Figure it out." "Any kind?" Dylan grinned at Jake. He put the bread on the table. Jake set out two plates. "Let's see what you have," he said. Hmm. I wonder what kind of sandwiches they're going to make. They pulled out jars, boxes, and bags. The table was filled with food. They had peanut butter, mustard, and honey. That sounds like a gross sandwich to me. Peanut butter, mustard, and honey? Yuck! Let's see if they find any other food. Oh, they had raisins, sugar cubes, and cookies. Tiny marshmallows spilled from a bag. The chocolate chips weren't open yet. This is crazy stuff to put in a sandwich, don't you think? Sugar cubes? Cookies? Let's see what they do with all this stuff. Jake looked at all the food. "Now what?" he said. Dylan rubbed his hands together. "Dig in," he said. "I'm starting with the peanut butter. Everything else will stick to it." Jake nodded. "Good idea." Oh my goodness. Usually with peanut butter, you just add jelly, right? These guys are going to add some crazy, silly stuff. The boys spread peanut butter on their bread. Jake reached for the marshmallows. Dylan opened the chocolate chips. Dylan sprinkled chocolate chips over the peanut butter. He sprinkled marshmallows over the chocolate chips. Raisins came next. Sounds like they're making a cake, not a sandwich. The piano music stopped. "Are you finding enough to eat?" Mom called. Jake slapped a cookie on his sandwich. Dylan picked up a jar of mustard. "Yes," he called. The piano music started again. So I don't think his mom is going to see them making these silly sandwiches because she's still playing that piano, right? Dylan went back to work. He spread mustard over the raisins. He dribbled honey over the mustard. He crumbled a coconut cookie over the honey. "Finished!" Dylan slapped a slice of bread on top. Oh my goodness, those are some silly sandwiches. I don't think I would ever put mustard and raisins together, would you? His sandwich was tall. He picked it up and looked at Jake. Jake picked his up too. They grinned at each other. They opened their mouths wide. They munched and chewed and swallowed. Do you see this word right here? It says grinned. That's the second time it's come up in this story. Grinned, like you can see from the picture, is another word for smiled. So they were very happy with each other with their sandwiches. They grinned at each other. They smiled. "Yum," said Dylan. "Best sandwich I've ever had," said Jake. The sandwiches were soon gone. The piano music stopped. "Have you boys eaten your sandwiches?" Mom called. "Yes," Dylan answered. "What kind did you make?" Dylan looked at Jake. Jake shrugged and Dylan laughed. "Silly sandwiches." You know what? I cannot believe that those sandwiches actually tasted good. I would not have predicted that they tasted good. I would have thought they were gross. Well, that's the end of our story. Let's just look at a couple quick questions before we finish. So the first question says, which ingredients from the silly sandwich are not usually found in a regular sandwich? I remember cookies, but I can't remember all the ingredients. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. This page says they had peanut butter, mustard, and honey. Peanut butter and mustard usually go on a sandwich, right? Does honey usually go on a sandwich? Not usually. The next page says they had raisins, sugar cubes, and cookies, marshmallows, and chocolate chips. I don't think any of these things usually go on a sandwich. That sounds crazy to me. Okay, so number 2 says, do you think Dylan's mom would have approved of the sandwiches they made? Why or why not? Do you think that Dylan's mom would have said yes to those sandwiches? Would your mom have said yes to those sandwiches? I don't think Dylan's mom would have approved. I think she would have told them to pick just a couple things and not all the things in the cupboard like they picked. Number 3 says, how would you describe Jake and Dylan? Well, it seemed like they were having a lot of fun in the story. They were smiling, they were creative, um, they were a little bit mischievous. They were a little bit not trying to get in trouble, but they were trying to do something that maybe their mom wouldn't have let them do if she knew that what was happening. So I would say that they were fun, they were mischievous, and they were very clever. That's the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed reading together and that you continue to read by yourself all the time so you can get really, really good at reading. Talk to you soon. Bye.